Full disclosure, a review copy of this game was provided to me either by its publisher or development team. Octopath Traveler, wreaking havoc upon me. Octopath Traveler is an 80-hour-long JRPG where you play as 8 different characters you choose from the beginning. I chose the warrior because I'm an aggressive type player in general, and I set off on an adventure to avenge the king as well as go collect the other 7 travelers spread across the map with their own journeys and stories to go on. There isn't really an overarching story that ties them all together until the end of the game. You're mostly just supporting each other, helping each other accomplish their goals, which is whatever. It's a little anthology collection of stories, and unfortunately none of those stories are really any good. I enjoyed the thief and the dancer, but the others I couldn't care less. I was bored out of my mind during all of their dialogue and little cutscenes, which can last like 20 to 30 minutes themselves. But every chapter is essentially the same. You head to town, chapter starts, you set off to complete that chapter with one of the characters forced into your party, which is a bit annoying, and 3 other characters of your choice. Despite having all 8 characters, you can only have 4 into a party at a time. I would have preferred a more Pokemon style, where you can swap in and out depending on the situation. It would have made this game less of a drag. But here, you go through the town, completing tasks tied to the character's special abilities, such as the thief character being able to steal items, which is helpful with how little cash I feel this game gives you, or the huntress character who is able to catch monsters Pokemon style after weakening them and summoning them to help you battle. And then it's off to a cave or mansion to track down the bad guy that chapter. On paper, all of this is fine, and admittedly, the game is very addicting, even when you feel like, okay, I've had enough. You want to keep going because of how amazing the boss battles are, despite everything around the boss battles being an absolute pain to get through. I mentioned before how boring the stories were, but the thing that holds Octopath Traveler back the most is that this game was literally designed to be a slow burn, a time waster. It was made to be played on the Switch, a handful of time here and there, and everything is balanced as such in all the worst ways, playing through at the pace of a mobile game. This entire game is Zubat's Cave. Random encounters. Battles that take years to get through. Juggling through different weapons to find enemies' weakness so you can break their shield. No health bar, which is insanely annoying to me in any RPG. I'll get back to that point later. I just hate how long these random encounters last for so little experience points. And keep in mind, characters are forced into your party, so they're gonna be low level while your favorite characters have been leveling up the entire time. So grinding is just that, it's a grind. And I hate that if you don't want to fight for whatever reason, fleeing isn't a 100% guarantee. Don't get me wrong, random encounters can be okay. But games like Pokemon handle it with grass. It's a choice to fight. Here it's forced and just annoying. But on to the star of the show, the boss battles. These boss battles are all epic and can last 30 minutes to even an hour at times, exploiting weaknesses, timing things perfectly to take down the boss. A lot of the times bosses have their own little minions, but there's so much about these boss battles that are complete BS. For one, they're constantly spitting in the face of your strategy, as every boss has some weird gimmick that breaks the game's rules, such as locking off your ability to attack its weakness, and some abilities being locked while their weaknesses are locked. One-hit kills, overpowered moves that take both your special points and your health points in one go, not one or the other. The bosses can definitely feel cheap at times, especially when you've been trying to take it down for an hour and out of nowhere it wipes your entire party. But the biggest sin this game's boss battle makes, in my opinion, is that the minions can respawn after you take them out. I hate it. You can take out these smaller enemies and think, finally, let's chop away at the boss. But if you take too long, no matter how deep you are into the battles, here are more minions just completely wasting your time, dragging the fight out longer than it has to be. Sometimes the bonus minions would cost me the fight, but it was rare, so they might as well not even have been there. It really was just to annoy me and waste my time. Force the player to grind and come back to steamroll. Which brings me back to the no health bar thing. I love the overall strategizing in Octopath Traveler, saving up boosts to hit an enemy a certain amount of times in a row to break their shield and skip their turn. But it's so annoying to not know how close an enemy is to feigning, to not know if you're wasting your best character on an enemy with 1 hit left, or if the boss can be powered through as you throw caution to the wind just to get rid of them. There's no reason for a health bar not to be there other than to, of course, just create an inconvenient grind fest of a game that doesn't respect your time or effort. Made clear with the fact that there's no auto healing of your characters between multi-stage boss fights or even a save state, so you don't have to skip through all the cutscenes again. This disrespect of my time is the thing that bothers me most about Octopath. From the extremely spongy enemies and random encounters to bosses feeling cheap and gimmicky from time to time, I did enjoy the boss fights and they made it worth playing through, but so many of them can take the wind out of your sails. But despite all of this, I loved my time with this game. I love the world, I love how deep the combat system is, how unique each character feels to play as, finding chests, stealing from the NPCs, recruiting them to help in battle. I don't regret playing Octopath, but there's no reason this experience should be longer than 40 hours. Also, stay away from playing this on PC if you plan to play with the controller. I had more of a challenge keeping the controller from disconnecting every 10 seconds than I did this game's bosses. I give Octopath Traveler an 8 out of 10. If you played Octopath Traveler, tell me what you thought about it down in the comment section below. If you haven't played it, tell me if you plan on picking it up. Thumbs up. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram at Superkengaming. Thanks for watching. Of course, stay beautiful.
Death by 1,000. Letting my arrow fly and true.
My blade is unbending! I wreak havoc upon thee!
You thought that video was good? Ha! You should probably watch this video, the very video that's on your screen right now, that YouTube hand-selected for you. Out of all my thousands of videos, this is the one that I want you to watch next. And make sure you're subscribed, because I'm not a genie or anything, but I'm pretty sure you get 42 years of bad luck if you made it this far into my video and you're not subscribed. You don't have to subscribe. I'm just looking out for you. I'm just looking out for your luck and your life.